In Caelesti version 0.23, I added a new sun texture. I decided not to go with a square sun, instead aiming for the appearance of the actual sun, a distant spherical body glowing in the sky. For the last two updates to Caelesti, the moon has looked quite silly compared to the new sun texture, and I wanted to give it an overhaul as well. I decided to take a similar approach, opting for a high definition texture that mimics the appearance of the actual moon. I found a good number of reference images, compiled them into a single texture, reduced the color palette using the quantize function, and voila, we have a wonderfully HD moon to match the sun. The moon was a bit more complex to design than the sun, with 8 distinct phases compiled in this one tile sheet. I created the new moon texture first, shifting the colors towards a cold blue, and then massively reducing the saturation and brightness. I could then carefully cut out the full moon texture to create the other 6 phases. Looking good. Or is it? Having a certain texture at a different resolution to the rest of the game is usually considered very bad practice in resource pack development, but given how far away the sun and moon are, I think this is perfectly fine. Allow me to explain. If we're going with typical pixel consistency rules, then this texture is actually incredibly small. See, in Minecraft, each block has a volume of 1 cubic meter, which means that every individual pixel has a surface area of 6.25 centimeters squared. The moon has a diameter of nearly 3,500 kilometers, which would mean that it actually needs to be around 55 million pixels wide to be considered pixel consistent. 55 million pixels is insane, but the texture would need to be even bigger than that. The sun and moon appear around the same size in the sky. It's a brilliant coincidence that the sun is roughly 400 times larger than the moon, but also 400 times further away, and it's because of this coincidence that we get fantastic solar eclipses. In order to match this perceived size, the moon needs to take up roughly the same amount of space on its texture as the sun. So the actual texture size would need to have a width and height of 374,546,864 pixels. Let's hope your computer has enough memory, eh? If you're interested to see more of the development process and the thinking behind it, you can check out the full video on my channel.